we're operating at a slightly different frequency.
Mark Porupski is the chair of the Electronic Technology Department here at MATC. He explains the differences in the four main areas of study and what students can expect to get out of them.
Well, electronic technology is a very broad field, and at MATC we actually have 4 programs, and as a result of the 4 programs, they're really specialties in what we consider to be electronics in general terms. And we actually have a common first year, which is made up of 2 semesters of what we would say would be the core electronic courses. And all electronic technicians require the fundamentals. Once we get you through the core, which would be the DC-AC electronics 1 and 2, would be devices. That's learning what transistors are, what integrated circuits are, what's behind all of the devices beyond the fundamental components that make up electronics. Once you have those foundational areas covered, then we can move on into some of the specific areas to support more industries more closely. For instance, biomedical electronics, that would be considered one. And biomedical here is getting people ready to work in a clinical engineering or in a biomedical shop in hospitals or in outlying clinics. We have specialties in just the generalized areas of electronics. Here we call it the engineering technology area. And the specialty really is focusing more on the fundamentals and going a little deeper and preparing them to possibly moving on toward a bachelor's degree. And then we have a big focus in what we would call the automation areas and the communication areas. The automation area, of course, is anything to do with manufacturing processes or process control in general. Then we could go on to the communications, which is my specialty, which is broadcast, as we call it, broadcast engineering. And we support the video production in a sense that we're the ones who are on the more technical side of the equipment and the operations of television. When our students finish the 2 years, which sometimes can take longer because our credit loads are a little higher than some associate degrees at MATC, they will have enough experience to enter into any job in electronics and feel comfortable. And that's what we try to provide. We try to give them enough hands-on experience in our labs, which in many cases is real world. Sometimes you can't as easily create the real world experience.
He also talked about internship opportunities for students.
Another aspect of a couple of our programs is we provide internships. Now with the broadcast we use the term workshop, but essentially that is that they're working at channels 10 and 36 in a structured academic fashion that will allow them to work as a broadcast engineer under the tutelage of a broadcast engineer, I guess you could say. And then that includes even our biomedical. Matter of fact, our biomedical program, which is one of the few programs like this in the country, part of what MATC does, we provide them hospital internships. Well, it actually is a key part of their experience here at MATC. And we continue to try to do that with some of our other programs, computers and automation as well, if we can. Obtain a actual on-the-job type position and structure the curriculum around what it is they're doing in the classroom. It works out wonderfully.